So Mills, I got there late, but there's a lot of people there, and it's like cougar country, Mexican gray wolves being reintroduced there, bear country. I was just like, okay, this is great, but there's a lot of people there, so I was like, screw it, set up my tent. So I set up my tent. It's a Friday night, got to bed. And yeah, I'll give you an idea of it. Like, I've got some footage of the grassland area, so like basically on top of this plateau, right where this rim campground is. There's a campground at the bottom of the canyon too, but it would have been crazy to take my car down there. Even though this crazy guy, Jim the Marine, was like, yeah, you can do it. Or Jim, the ex-government military agent, I don't know, who was a bodyguard for the president, I don't know. And I ended up talking to him quite a bit. But I was like, no, I'm not going down. So I stayed at the top. And the top's like this beautiful grassland. I'll show you some footage of that. It's unbelievable. When you come into like this forest area, it dips down to these cliffs where all the cougars would be hiding. And then you go down into the valley. The valley is just like red rock awesomeness. He's sort of like, there was a little town down there that's named after this guy Mills, who was kind of this crazy dude, and he was like a lawyer back in the day, like the early 1900s, and he wanted to turn that place into an orchard because the river went through. The river like flooded it out, and crazy stories about that guy. Like he wanted to send the fruit up to the top of the canyon on like a cable, and to show the strength of it, he was like, I'll ride with the fruit. People were like, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. So finally he was convinced not to do it. First bucket went up, cable broke, so he would have died as well. He was also like, after he got somebody off as a lawyer back in the day, they were gonna kill him at gunpoint, and the U.S. cavalry had to come in and save him or something like that. So he's a very storied guy. And a very harsh landscape. Like I was at about, I guess that was my first sort of like altitude spot again. It was about 5,900 feet on the canyon rim, and I'd dip down to 5,200. But super hot, super dry, and every day I'd come out of that canyon, man, I was just like so toast, like more toast than like I ever am. And I don't usually get very toast. Like just like literally like draining 10 bottles of water, like dying. By the last day, I kind of figured it out. Anyway, so it goes down this canyon. I've got some footage of that ruin from the mill stuff. Footage of the canyon. It's awesome. First day I went as deep in as I could go to the canyon. Second day I kind of went down, chilled up, talked with the gym guy, the crazy dude, the old guy who is like a genius old man in his 60s, camper dude, living on the road for like 6 years now. Basically just drinks all day. Has a gun that he showed me. was just like a genius dude, like old school guy who'd been through all these government jobs, like military and stuff like that, like a lot of these guys are, but cool guy. But chilled kind of on the second day to recover, and the third day went all the way down to the canyon, up the other side, and onto the top of the grassland, and back to kind of these snowy mountain distance in that grassland as well. And I'll probably show you some footage of that climb as well. So it was really cool at Mills. The last night I was there, I was going to be the only one who was there that night. I was like, but that's kind of sketch, because like cougars, whatever, right? I was so sketched like cougars and alligators, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's human. But this kid, Jeremy Bird, showed up. He's from like Maryland, but he's living in California. And we ended up talking a lot that night. And we talked about like just different things. He gave me this jar of pemmican that was really good, but may have actually screwed up my stomach because my stomach was really screwed when I got to Flagstaff. Anyway, so it was cool talking to him. He's a young guy, got his email and stuff like that. Might run into him later on in the journey, who knows. And then from Mills Canyon, I headed out to Santa Fe, where I needed a hotel because I'd done the 5 nights at Cheyenne, Black Kettle Park, and 4 nights at Mills. That's 9 nights. That's a pretty long stretch. So I went to a hotel in Santa Fe, just outside Santa Fe, actually north of it, on a reserve called Pojake or something like that, at this casino hotel, Cities of Gold, which was really cool. And kind of surreal. Like there wasn't a lot of people there, but it's a really nice hotel. And when I go to a hotel, I kind of go into vampire mode. I've been outside for like 24 hours a day for like all those 9 days camping, whatever, right? So when I get to the hotel, I'm like back to that like technology addiction, you know, like on the computer, editing my videos, whatever, blah, 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 catching up on emails, catching up on Facebook, catching up on music blogs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's weird, like curtains are shut, I'm like into this like vampire mode, and I'll go out for dinner, and I went out for dinner, and it was like, even though it was like kind of like a reservation or a Native American type place, I think there was like these Latins working at this food place, and they're like young and like kind of hip, and it just like me being in the vampire mode coming out, it seemed more like a kind of a city, but in the middle of nowhere, a desert. It was just kind of surreal. Anyway, you don't care about that, but it's interesting. So after that, I went down the next day to the library in Santa Fe to finish off some video editing stuff. And basically, the Santa Fe library, like the whole downtown of Santa Fe, is like the most like hipster spot ever. It's like Flagstaff, but instead of that sort of like rustic like Route 66 thing, it's kind of like this cowboy thing. But everyone's aware of like the, I don't know, the kitsch aspect of the cowboy. It was just really hipster. Like I was like, wow, Santa Fe is like the place to be, I guess, or something like that. I don't know.